This is the heavy industrial front door to Los Angeles. Handling 10.2 million container units a year, the Port of LA operates on a scale that is difficult to process from the ground. But that front door is about to open to a very different kind of traffic. In 2026, the FIFA World Cup will bring millions of international visitors directly into the harbor area. Following right behind that, the 2028 Olympic sailing events will take place in the outer harbor, arriving alongside the massive multi-billion-dollar West Harbor waterfront development. This map illustrates the pressure building on the San Pedro Peninsula. What happens when millions of international tourists and billions in corporate capital are dropped onto a town with a small, historically blue-collar geographic footprint? The result is a severe crisis of visibility. For a local business, the biggest threat to survival is simply being ignored by the incoming masses. Sleek, heavily funded corporate infrastructure is moving in, standing directly next to San Pedro's gritty legacy mom-and-pop shops. When a local creator is forced to compete for attention against international brands with massive marketing budgets, they face the reality of being drowned out. Operating quietly in the background and relying solely on legacy foot traffic is no longer a viable strategy in a city undergoing this level of hyperdevelopment. In a rapidly globalizing local market, a small business must acquire a localized, amplified voice to broadcast its own authority. A few blocks away from the water sits 363 West 6th Street. Built in 1922, the building carries architectural scars and history that long predate the arrival of modern steel and glass. The Donn Allan experience brings a deeply personal, community-focused restoration to this space, providing an alternative to the sterile projects rising on the shoreline. The vision is rooted in two philosophies. Donn was a psychologist who practiced the strict discipline of empathy. Allan was a cardiologist turned venture capitalist who provided the structural spine of relentless resilience. This physical building is designed as a direct ideological countermeasure to corporate sterility, an incubator built to protect and project local authenticity. The core operational engine of this entire project sits down in the basement level, Voxel Micro Video Labs. Decades ago, Allan Wolf launched a highly ambitious medical imaging venture called Voxel. Despite his brilliant mind and hopeful heart, the venture failed. This timeline tracks the Voxel brand. The abrupt termination of the medical venture is exactly what sparks the foundation of this modern media lab, proving that failure is merely a necessary rough draft for success. That personal connection extends to the recording studios themselves. Each one is named after the founder's nieces, nephews, and family pets. Voxel transforms the abstract concept of family legacy into a functional commercial tool built specifically to empower local creators. A video podcast solves the crisis of visibility by allowing local entrepreneurs to look their community directly in the eye at a massive scale. High-quality, long-form video production builds a level of digital trust and authority that standard, fleeting social media posts cannot match. This chart compares the primary barrier to entry. On one axis, we have the extreme cost and technical complexity of building a private studio. On the other, we have the accessible, low-friction entry point provided by renting Voxel. By providing high-end infrastructure, Voxel eliminates this barrier for the businesses traditionally excluded from professional media production. Voxel functions as a strategic armory, providing the technical edge local businesses need to compete in a globalized attention economy. The Donn Allan experience and Voxel Labs are slated for a grand opening in the summer of 2026. Just as millions of global tourists begin arriving, this hyper-local broadcasting hub will activate. The directive to San Pedro's entrepreneurs is clear. Stop being passive, quiet spectators in the evolution of your own city. Stepping up to the microphone at Voxel is the ultimate act of claiming space. It ensures the authentic soul of the community